March 27, 1980. Thursday. The entire financial world froze. In a single day, the price of silver crashed 50%. Banks refused to accept payments. The U.S. Federal Reserve changed the rules of the game in the middle of the trading session. And behind it all stood two brothers from Texas, Nelson and Bunker Hunt. They tried to buy all the silver in the world. And they almost succeeded. This is the story of Silver Thursday, the day when America's richest family challenged the governments of two continents and lost. Their loss changed commodity trading forever. And in 2026, with silver once again in deficit, this story sounds more relevant than ever.
Who were the Hunt brothers?
The Hunt brothers were the sons of H.L. Hunt, the man believed to be the inspiration for Jock Ewing in the TV series Dallas. Their father was the richest man in America after Rockefeller. He made his fortune in oil. But by the late 1970s, the brothers looked at the world and saw one huge problem: the US dollar was rapidly losing value. Inflation reached 15% per year. The printing press was running at full capacity. The Hunt brothers came to a simple conclusion: paper money is worthless, and real wealth is physical metal. But not gold. They chose silver. Why? Because the silver market was 20 times smaller than the gold market. Which meant it could be controlled. Brilliant. And completely illegal.
How they bought silver.
The brothers began buying silver in 1973. Quietly at first, through shell companies, through brokers in Zurich and London. They borrowed against their oil, sold bonds, and borrowed from friends. By 1979, the Hunts controlled 130 million ounces of silver, half of the world's available above-ground supply. But it wasn't enough. They made a secret agreement with Saudi sheiks and several other wealthy families from the Middle East. Together, they created a pool that bought silver by the ton. The price crept up, $6 per ounce in 1978, $15 in 1979, and finally, $49.45 in January 1980. An all-time high. Paper silver on the COMEX exchange was trading on 800% margin. The whole world was going crazy for silver. Grandmothers sold family heirlooms. Speculators took loans backed by nothing. And only two men in Texas knew who was pulling the strings.
The crash. Silver Thursday.
By late January 1980, the silver market had become insane. Every morning, the price would jump 10 to 15%. But the Hunts made a fatal mistake: they kept buying with borrowed money. In February 1980, the CFTC, Commodity Futures Trading Commission, launched an investigation. In March, they made a statement: the silver market is being manipulated, and we are changing the rules. On March 26, 1980, COMEX announced a new limit: no trader could control more than 2,000 silver contracts. For the Hunts, this was a disaster. Their positions exceeded the limit 40 times over. The next day, March 27, was Silver Thursday. The price crashed from $21.60 to $10.80 in a few hours. Brokers demanded more margin. The Hunts could not pay, they had run out of money. Their debt to banks reached $1.7 billion. It was the largest individual default in U.S. history.
The bailout and the fall of an empire.
When the Hunts crashed, they were not the only ones at risk. Their creditors were the largest banks in America. If the Hunts defaulted, the entire system would collapse. So the Federal Reserve did something unprecedented: they organized a $1.1 billion bailout pool. Banks wrote off part of the debt. The Hunts were given a survival loan. But the price was high, they lost control of their empire forever. Nelson Hunt declared personal bankruptcy in 1988. He died in 2014, leaving more debt than assets. Bunker Hunt lost almost everything but managed to recover part of his fortune by the 1990s. The most chilling outcome, the investigation showed that the brothers had acted largely within the law. The rules simply changed in the middle of the game. Silver Thursday became a point of no return. After it, all commodity markets received strict position limits.
Lessons for 2026.
Today, in 2026, silver is once again in the spotlight. Solar panels, electric vehicles, 5G equipment, all of it requires massive amounts of silver. Silver demand has grown 180% since 2020. The price is again hovering around $35 per ounce. And once again, there is talk of a silver deficit. Some influencers are calling for buying physical metal. But the story of Silver Thursday teaches one main lesson: even the richest people in the world cannot beat the market when regulators are playing against them. In 1980, the Federal Reserve and COMEX simply changed the rules. In 2026, the same could happen to Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any other asset. The main lesson for investors: diversify. Never put everything on one asset. Even if you are Nelson and Bunker Hunt. Even if the asset is silver.